So, shall we move over to the piggy
Yes.
bank? If you are a person who gets a refund,
Yes.
you've set up a little demonstration, literally with piggy banks, to show us what we should be doing with that money,
Yes.
right?
The one thing to remember is your refund is not a bonus.
That's right.
Most
This
people
is not,
look at
oh,
that.
I get fancy
No.
shoes, or let's go party in Cabo.
Okay, well, hold on, Rachel. They can have some fun.
Okay.
But the main thing is that it's not bonus. What I mean is it didn't come from the fairy. It came from your hard work.
That's right.
You just paid too much. So
Right.
I want to guide people on how to make progress in multiple areas.
That's
So
right.
let's say you don't have an emergency fund. That's a cushion between you and life happening, right?
That's right.
Car repair, home repair. So I would tell people if they got a refund, maybe we want to stick some money into this savings account, right, to be able to give myself a little bit of a cushion.
A rainy day cushion.
Absolutely, and we'll be glad it's there when we need it.
My
Now-
mama always called that a rainy 6 month cushion.
Ah, which
You
you
have
bring-
a rainy 6 months.
That's
Yeah.
right. And we tell people once you get $1,000 saved, we want you to move to where you have 3 to 6 months of
That's right.
expenses tucked aside, because if someone gets sick or there's a
You have to
loss
move,
of job,
exactly, or you get downsized, or
absolutely.
your company, right?
And what I found is people sleep better and feel better when they have that cushion.
That's right.
Because now you're not as worried about what are we going to do. So I want people to use your tax refund to give yourself a little bit of a cushion with a savings account. Now, let's say you've already got a savings account, Rachel.
Okay.
But now what do I want you to do? Well, I want you to stop a thief from stealing your money. And I'm talking about debt. I want people to realize interest that you pay is a penalty.
Brutal.
Right? Interest that you earn is a reward. So let's attack credit card debt, car loans, and when you get out of debt, you give yourself a raise. So I would say let's use some tax refund money
To get it
to
down.
attack debt,
Yep.
make some progress, and let's eventually get this debt out of my life so you give yourself a raise.
Right.
Yes. Let's say you've attacked debt and you've got some savings. What do I want you to do next? Well, I want people to start working toward their dreams. I wrote my book, Retire Inspired, because it's not just about retiring. It's about going to do the things your heart wants to do.
That's right.
Spending time with kids, spending time with your family, or even traveling. So I want people to use some of this tax refund to go toward their retirement dream. So that's whether you're using a Roth IRA, right,
Nice.
which is tax-free growth. The government can't get any of that,
Right, right.
which will allow you to use that to chase down your dream.
Love that.
All right? And then the final thing, and I know, Rachel, you want to know about this one. You're like, Chris, if I'm doing all this stuff and I'm taking care of business, when do I get to have fun? Well, I think if you've got savings, you're out of debt, and you're already using your 401k or a Roth IRA, and you're out of debt, now I want you to take some of this money and go have some fun. Take a trip.
Hey, we're
Buy
back
some
in
shoes.
Maybe a weekend in Cabo versus a month.
Yeah, don't stay a month. Don't sue. That's too long.
So now this is a program, you've really broken this down and made it very simple to understand what happens when we get. What if you have to give?
Oh.
What if you have to owe taxes,
Yeah.
which if you take your advice, you might if you kept more of your own money that year.
Right.
What's the deal with owing taxes?
Well, the big
The
thing
game.
is this. If you're married, I want you to be in the same discussion with your spouse to make sure you're both not taking the deduction for the kids. Only one of you can do
Yep.
that. So if you're married and filing jointly, you'll be on the same page. But let's say you're in that situation where you owe. Now, first of all, I want people to understand IRS debt doesn't go away. You can't file bankruptcy on
That's
it,
right.
and you can't avoid it. So I encourage people, and I've coached people all across the country, when you find out that you owe, contact them. Call
Don't
them.
hide. You only make it worse, right?
If you hide, it's literally, you will start a course of action you don't want. So let's just contact them, call them, find out what it is you owe, what is the repayment options, then you can look at your budget, talk to your spouse, get on the same page, and begin to figure out what you can do. Don't agree to make a payment on something you can't afford.
That's
That
right.
is only gonna create more issues. Next, I want you to take on an extra job, cut back on your budget. Let's hurry up and pay the IRS and get them out of your life, because they don't forget and they're not gonna forgive.
Yeah, they're not gonna go away. And Amanda, they love interest.